This
limitations.
conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, so the estimating snow pipe latency. So whenever you have too many files in the snow pipe and if it's try to write, there might be still some lag in the snow pipe. It's pretty fast, but I see 30 seconds to 40 seconds lag to process the
Uh,
files.
Sorry, Sekhar. Are you sharing screen?
Yes, you guys are not able to see my screen.
No.
Hold on a second, please. How about now?
Yeah, we can able to see now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So whenever you're talking about snow pipe data loading into table latency, lag or something, right? It depends upon how complex is your copy statement, because we can use transformations inside copy statement and the size of the file. There are a couple of other parameters that depends, right? What kind of format is it and how do you handle the file formats? Those are all part of the performance. You might see some lag, but I see a lag less than a minute or 30 seconds. And if you have thousands of files, right, you definitely see some lag in it. Okay, so you have to experiment. It's a trial and error basis kind of thing. You have to identify what is your best timing that you can do for 100 files, 1000 files. It depends upon your business use case. Okay, and we talked about this. These are the snow pipe details. So how do you create a pipe, alter a pipe, drop pipe, describe pipe, show pipe? These are all the details of snow pipe. And these are the examples. Create a pipe in the current schema that loads all data from file stage. Copy, create pipe, my pipe as copy into table from my stage. This is what we normally do. Okay. So remember, when you are trying to duplicate, data duplication happen. That means if you have the same file in the same path, my stage slash data load slash, and if you try to reload it again, snowpipe won't load that. Even if you put another file with modified file, maybe the old file was 10 MB, this is now 15 MB. So in a regular copy into, it will definitely work because it's a new file, it has a new signature. But snowpipe, it doesn't load it. It has to be in a different path altogether. Then it thinks it's a new file and you can load the data into it. Got it? So copy into, so create pipe as copy into some transformation. So you can use copy statement with transformation, without transformation, and there are some limitations for the copy into. You cannot say force is equal to true, overwrite is equal to true. There are a couple of other commands that doesn't work here. Force is equal to true doesn't work. Overwrite is equal to true doesn't work. We can see that when we get into action while creating the snow pipes. I'm just trying to give you the theory part of it. We'll do some action as well. Okay. So trying to create an external stage snow pipe. So auto ingest is equal to true. And then this is we have two, maybe three kinds of queuing systems in AWS. One is SQS, simple queue service. SNS, simple notification service or something. I don't remember the abbreviation clearly. And the third one is Amazon Firehose, which is Kinesis, which acts like a Kafka, high volume and all this stuff. Okay, so we are using SNS here and trying to see the ARN of the SNS, and the topic name is so and so, and copy into table from this particular stage. File format is equal to JSON. You're able to follow, right? Okay, and then okay, and then if you have Azure, right, the same thing, but you'll be using an integration. So whenever you're trying to talk to other cloud providers, if you have implemented something on one particular cloud, for example, you have implemented Snowflake on AWS, then If you want to talk to the other cloud providers like GCP or Azure, then you have to create a snowflake integration. We talked about it before, right? So you need a snowflake integration to do this, and then using that integration you can create a pipe. Okay, once the pipe is created and you want to see when was the pipe executed and all these details, right? We have two metadata objects. One is a view, one is a function. Functions are always from information schema, and views, most of them from account usage schema. Okay, so these are the examples. We'll work on it and see. So auto ingest is not true. Auto ingest is equal to true is only for making your pipe sync up automatically with your, whenever you set up your SQS or SNS, right? If you want to sync up automatically, you have to create your object as auto ingest is equal to true something. That means somebody is trying to ingest the data and you're saying okay. That means a notification comes and you can refresh it. Okay. And then what else we have here? So this is the S3 integration. We'll do this step. We'll do some action, and then this is the SQS setup. Whatever that we have done in external stage is almost similar here. We'll do that anyway one more time. Okay, and then okay. So if you want to make a data pipeline from an external source using snow pipes, that means you can automate. So if you have any data source like an Oracle or MongoDB or something, and you can push your incremental data or a full data, converting that source into a CSV or JSON or Parquet or whatever it is, and then using Snowpipe, we can get it down to Snowflake. And previously, people were not using the Snowpipe much. Now, people started adapting Snowpipe very good. So you might have a lot of questions on Snowpipe if you get into any interview. Okay, and then so we talked about multiple files in your stage, right? Whenever Snowpipe acts, right, it reads micro chunks of the data. I have already told you. So if you have a huge file or you have many files, huge set of data, it reads from your file micro batches of data and processes it. That's what happens behind the scene. So this is one important thing you have to remember. It reads in micro batches and processes in micro batches. This Snowflake. Okay, got it? So if you give me 2 minutes, right, I'll also get some water. I'm feeling very sleepy today. I'm not sure why. So once I'll have my water and come back, and then we'll start the action. We'll create snow pipes. We'll create snow pipe on external stage. We push some data into there. We'll set up automatic data population using auto stage is equal to true. Auto ingest is equal to true. That is the one, right? Auto ingest is equal to true. Using this, we'll set up automatic ingestion and see how it reacts. Okay, are we clear, guys?
Yeah, yes, Shekhar.
Okay, give me 2 minutes. I'll have some water and then we'll start. Okay, please. Sorry, I don't want to be. Hello? Guys, can you hear me? You can hear me, right? No, yes.
Yes, yes.
We
Okay,
can hear
right.
you. Sir.
Sure, sure. Then let's get back to some action and see. Okay, and then I have some snow pipe exercises as well. Snow pipe text notepad. These for creating the SQS setup. Okay. Mm. Create a replace. First, let me see if I have created any best. Show pipes. I have my pipe, which is already there. So if you say notification channel, right, is in null. Okay. If I want to get the syntax of the pipe, what is the command that I have to use? The syntax of the my pipe that I have created. How do you get the syntax of it?
Describe
Describes
describe
the
pipe
table.
piping.
Describe pipe.
Pipe
I want to get the script that I have created.
get DDL.
Yes, select
Get
get
DDL.
DDL
Pipe name.
pipe my pipe. So if your auto ingest is equal to true, you will have a notification channel. That means you are trying to sync up automatically. If auto ingest is equal to false, then it says no notification channel will be. If you describe this pipe right, you will see this notification channel null. And we have seen the notification channel for external tables as well, where we had some ARN number where we used it for our auto refresh. Okay, so now copy into this is the one, right? So if schema from this is from the external, I have created an external this one. Let it be. I'll create another one. Create or replace pipe my pipe internal. It's based on internal stage. Let's copy into emp from at the rate of my stage. Okay, show stages. I have a 3 stage, my stage, and if I want to see the contents of the stage, what should I do? I want to see what files are there in the stage.
List at
Guys, you forgot already. List at the rate
list
of
at
my stage. Yeah. So I'm gonna copy put file. Put what doesn't work from here, right? No SQL hyphen. Okay, put file colon. So the path C colons. Okay, before running this, let's go and see. Select star from emp. How many records are there? There are 11 records. I am deleting data. Delete from emp. Done. And then I'm going to run this. The meaning we are putting a file into stage. Once the file is in stage, what happens to Snowpipe? It automatically pushes the data into a table. Okay. So it takes a while. Let me see. Alter pipe. Refresh. See, this particular thing is sent. Select star from emp. Oh, we did not give any file format. We did not give anything here. So it would have failed. emp.csv. There are many files in the stage, so I want to be clear. If I say force is equal to true, right? It fails. Force is not there. Or I can say here you true. See, override is not there. Got it? Couple of parameters doesn't work here. Dot GCA. Oh, we made a mistake. It has to be emb.csv.gz. So now I'm gonna file. Not sure whether it's sent or not. We have done multiple times, right? So I'm not sure. Let's go and then look at the table data. See, we have the 15 rows. Now this one work, the last one. Okay. So I'll load another file. Okay. Let's go back to this one. Let's see for some time. Give us a couple of minutes, then we'll see whether it refreshes automatically or not. Okay. Got it? And then, guys, I'm just having a snack and I'm gonna talk, so don't take me wrong, okay? I'm just trying to log into. I'm trying to log into AWS so that I can set up the SQS mechanism for Snowflake. Okay, hold on.
Shikhar sir, for second time,
Mhm.
did it load the data automatically? Did we delete for second time?
We are yet to see. I just copied the data into.
Okay.
It doesn't work like that because the pipe that we have created, we clearly told emp.csv, right? So even if you loaded emp1, it doesn't pick that up. So we have
Yeah,
to
that's what.
give a
Yeah, that's
folder
what I
to
was
do.
thinking.
Yeah, we have to create a folder. I will say data load. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we have two files.
This might be old data. Yeah, so it populated 30 rows is there. Okay. Not sure did we delete the data or not. Let's go
No,
and
we
check
had
in the
only,
metadata whether which.
yeah,
Mhm.
we had only 15 rows, so it is updated. It
Yeah.
should be 45 rows there.
Mhm. Did they delete and load it again?
Initially there were 15 records. Now it should be 45 records.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see. My question was whether I've deleted the table so that two files are processed. Let's go and look at the metadata of the files, right?
Yeah.
I'll change it to snowflake database. Sometimes it takes time for it to refresh. So I'm looking at snowflake database and then information schema. My pip internal does not exist. Okay, so where are we right now? I'm not able to query this particular metadata. One second. sfdb dot sf. Oh, nothing is processed yet, but we do have seen some processing, right?
Sir, we are not at the end. Speaking. Sir,
How about now?
yeah, now,
Now you're able to hear me, right?
yes, yes.
Right. Sorry. I was keep on talking. I didn't know that you guys are not hearing me. So this metadata should be seen. I'm not sure why we're here now. You see. And what is the difference between create or replace pipe or create pipe? Any clue?
Create means it
Guys?
will create. Create or replace means if it is already exist,
Mm-hmm.
it
Okay.
will
What,
create.
what is that? Any other things? It goes and resets the metadata. That means whenever you say create or replace snow pipe, previously we have loaded employee table. And if you load the employee table in the same path, will it take it?
No,
When you say create or replace, will the new employee file, when you push it, will it take it? You have a stage and you have loaded some file, employee file into the table. And there is a snowpipe created on that particular stage. Once you push in your EMP file, for the first time, it loads. Even when you push it for the second time into the same stage, what happens? Does it process the file?
it won't process.
Sorry?
It won't process.
It won't process. Okay, now third thing, I did create a replace snow pipe and then I pushed it in emp.csv. Will it process the file? So I have a table called emp. I have loaded a file called employee, copied into the table. And when I do the copy into, first time I put a file emp.csv and then I run a copy command and the data got inserted into snowflake. Sorry, snowflake table. Got it? So now I truncated the table and then I reprocess copy into the same file emp.csv. Will it process or not? Do you guys understood my use case?
Yes, sir, it will process.
Will it? Why will it process?
Truncate will remove our history.
Yeah, the metadata will be reset. That means it treats the new data that is you're trying to do. It's a new data set. The previous data set you will still be seeing in the views, but it acts as if you're doing it for the first time. Understood? Are we clear?
Yes, yes.
Shekhar sir, could you please come again? It's not clear for me.
Okay. So whenever you say create pipe name, and then you created a file, and then you loaded a employee.csv, and it got populated into the table. We're all good so far. And
Yeah.
you said create or replace pipe name. So that is a DDL statement. And then you push the same employee file into the stage again. And then what happens? Snowpipe will automatically process this employee because it doesn't have the previous references of which table, which file that it has loaded or copied into. Okay. Second one is like whenever you alter, right, the metadata, it gets reset, so it treats it's a new file rather than thinking that it's an old file, and then it passes the data. Are we clear?
So whenever we alter the existing pipe, it will reset the metadata there.
Yes. The files which were
Okay.
loaded previously, you can still load the file, and you have to careful even do duplicate the data.
Okay.
Okay. And then what else do we have here? So let's go and set up some SQS and then see how to automatically. So we have an external stage, right? We'll use the external stage to create a snow pipe. So whenever you write a delete statement or truncate statement in your worksheet, after doing your stuff, go ahead and then put a hyphen. It's one of the best practice so that you accidentally don't delete the data. Got it? Understood? Okay.
Yeah.
One second, guys. Then let's look at the stages and see which stage we are working on. We are trying, and now the next use case is right. We'll be working on the snow pipe, and then the snow pipe, right? We'll create it on external stage right now, and then we will see how it behaves, and then we'll set up an auto mechanism. So let's see whether this EMP is not refreshed. Okay, when I go and then say internal refresh, what happens? Now it gets refreshed. Oh, it's refresh. Even when we did the create or replace pipe, right? It's not updating the employee table which was loaded before. Hold on one second. Anyway, we'll just leave the EMP and go for the other one. Which one is that? Setting up the SQS setup for external. Okay, show stages. These are my stages. Show pipes. I have my pipe which is internal, the other one is external. If you say my pipe external, right? The one. My pipe auto ingest is equal to true. I'll just say true as copy into from. So all the file that is part of this one gets on error is equal to continue. Got it? If something goes wrong also, partially load the data, because we are talking about files, right? There might be chance that something might go wrong. So we have to do a due diligence, and if something goes wrong, then you have to. Got it? So now I am created auto ingest true, and I'm going to set up the AWS SQS mechanism. So I'll say describe pipe, my pipe. Yes, my pipe does not exist or authorized. Just now we created the pipe, right? Oh, we have done that in account admin, not in system. Okay, okay. See in the pipe, right? You'll see this notification channel. Here, SQS AP South 1, so and so, snow pipe, so and so, and all this stuff. This we have done the same way. What we have done before, we have created an external table. This is similar to an external table. You go there, go to your buckets, identify your properties, and give this particular SQS number there, so that they automatically cut you off. Okay. So I'll walk through the steps because we have already done that before. I put my snow pipe.txt here, right? The first one is IIM, S3 bucket role. These are pretty standard stuff that we have already worked upon, right? And then SQS setup, event notification to auto create a stage, create a pipe with auto ingest enabled. See, auto ingest enabled is true. And then configure security, configure event notification, load historical one. Okay, when you are trying to do this, right? So you create a stage. We already have an external stage, and then create a pipe with auto ingest. So I have created a pipe with auto ingest is equal to true, and then configure security. There is no security for it. That's what I know. Configure event notifications. Yeah, for these events, whom do we send to data and all this stuff that can be done. Okay. Load historical data. That means if you want to have the previous year's historical data, right? Then we can do that. Load historical data. Configure event notification. So you understood, right? So whenever you create a pipe and for the past 1 week or 10 days, and if you want to confirm the date, it automatically throws the data into whatever the target folder is by reading the JSON, and then we can figure it out. Okay.
Next.
So setting up a data pipeline in Snowflake, this is what we have talked about. Create a separate database, set up a schema, create a table, file format, create external stage pointing to your S3 location, review stage files and select data from file. Okay. Test load data into a table. Okay. So when you test load, automatically data gets loaded into this table, and then you create the snow pipe, force a pipe refresh. For the first time, alter snow pipe refresh. It gets you the data, monitor data loads. Understood? Okay. I think you understood it. And the SQS setup, you normally know, right? We have done that before. That's what I explained in the print shot that I'm going to send to you. Yes, as soon as possible. Okay. And then what else? Is another example of file format, stage, role. So source stages, after creating the stage source stages, discharge the database storage. It shows you once you do this, right, copy into, then you have to copy into table with whatever the pattern. If you want to filter out these particular patterns with star.co and then load into a table, those can be done. Okay. Create pipe, if not exists my pipe, auto is true. Yes, copy into my source table from design meetings. So at the rate of my stage, file format, so and so format, on error is equal to continue. If you say on error continue, it will strategically force you to get the data. Okay. The erroneous data is failed. Okay. So so I have a Python program that we talked about in the morning, right? I just want to explain you on that. Where is my procedure?
Shekhar sir, whatever the examples you have given or you are gonna share,
Mhm.
will that cover most of the
Yeah,
entry questions or
Santosh. I'm giving you the
are
most possible
frequently
things.
used use cases?
No, these are pretty much simple, straightforward.
Okay.
Some might cover some use cases for me, but unless until you work on this environment, then only your use case you can understand that. I'm just prepping up so that you can answer and then you can handle things. Are we clear? No?
Yeah, we are good, sir. If we have
Mhm.
anything to be asked, definitely I will get back to you, sir.
Sure. If you have any issues, use cases, let me know. We'll figure out how to answer that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, sure, sir. Sure, sir.
And then let's go back to this uh, Python based program, right? Yeah, this is important. I'll explain you. I explained you it in the morning as well, but little deeper now. So whenever you are trying to connect to Snowflake from Python, you should have a Snowflake connector. You have to install that Snowflake connector, pip install. If you go to the downloads, you can see that. I'll show you that. S modem. Okay, dokie, where is my Python? Okay, so the Snowflake connector I wanted to show. Help, download. You have this one. Snowflake repository. Click on it. What are we trying to do here? I got confused. One
Trying to
second, please.
download.
Yeah,
Now we
so
are
sorry.
trying
Here,
to download pipes for Python.
Python components, pip install snowflake connector Python. If you run this in your Windows prompt, it doesn't work. There is no okay. So now let's come back. What did you say? I'm not okay. Pip. I have copied this. Pip install snowflake hyphen connector. I've already done this. I'm just trying to show you in Windows or Linux the same command. You can do like this. See, the version is already available. I don't want to lead, and then I don't need to. Okay. Install. It's not. It's going to install only.
Sir, can't hear you. I'm not sure whether you're explaining.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now we can hear you, sir.
Yeah, I have a very bad headset where whenever it moves, right, I sometimes lose the connectivity, and probably I'm gonna come out of my room today. So I think I'll be able to from next. Okay. So from next week onwards, I should be in full speed, energy, no fatigue. So we should be covering up little more marathon next week. And this week, I want to have a class sometime in the weekdays. So when do you want to have the class? Let's finalize that here. When do you guys want to have the class?
Any
I
day
have
is fine,
meeting on
sir.
Monday. Sorry,
Any day is fine, sir.
the class will be around 7 o'clock. So I can
Yeah,
have it on Wednesday, 7 o'clock.
yeah, sure, sir.
And if I run into any meetings, because now I'm catching up with my office, I was given off for 3 weeks, and I took an off of 1 week. So 4 weeks, 1 month, I did not do my office work. But I tried to squeeze in some time for you guys to catch up with the last time. And if I run into any issues, or if an unscheduled meeting comes into the picture, I'll let you know half an hour before. Then the class is cancelled, or we can push the class little more here and there. That I'll communicate in the WhatsApp group. But let's have a class at Wednesday evening. Okay?
Sure, sir.
Are we good, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So whenever you import from Snowflake, right? Snowflake that ingest import simple ingest manager. If you don't know anything about it, but you want to use the Snowpipe REST API, you copy whatever I have given here, then you should be good until here. The time, date, OS logging, this is for my stuff that I'm trying to keep a log when I have connected, whether processed or not, and all this stuff. So this is the key part. From Snowflake.ingest, import simple ingest manager. Simple ingest manager is a manager that you can push the data into. And logging. So when we do the user management, right? I'm going to tell you how to do the service account, how to set up the private public key, and then extract. At that particular point of time, we will visit this particular thing one more time, run it, and then I'll show you. Right now, I'm just giving you a theory part of it so that you are aware of how things work with the REST APIs. And this particular REST API can be called from anywhere. Like you can call it from your Kafka environment. If you can schedule a job, or you can use using Java, you can call it. You can Python, you can call it. Using .NET, you can call it. And so you can write a program where you have some data coming in from a queue. So whenever you get some data in the queue, it's a payload. Payload means a JSON that will be part of the queue, right? So you can dequeue or enqueue. If you want to push it, you can push it as enqueue. Or if you talk about Kafka, right? Kafka, we call it as a topic. Topic is like a table name. Topic is something where we subscribe to. So there can be millions of topics, or there can be thousands of topics, and you will subscribe to the topic which you are interested to. There might be a topic regarding order information. That means if a new order comes in, right, the name of the topic is order information. If you subscribe to it, right, and then if a new order comes in, so you can go and then automatically uh, download that payload, but you have to poll, you have to keep on calling that particular topic and see if a new order has come in, right? You can enqueue, or you can sorry, we can dequeue, we can download the file. That is normally in queuing mechanisms, right? They can send you the file, they can send you the JSON which has the order details, information, all this stuff. You get the data, and wherever your queue is running, you write a program, a Python program, and schedule it every 15 minutes or 20 minutes. Every 20 minutes it goes and checks if there is new orders, it gets the orders, and then pushes into Snowflake stage using simple ingest manager. Okay, these are REST API kind of thing. Okay, so I am trying to read. Say this password, this time, date, time. When we talk about the user management and trying to get the default public key, private key, right? This is what it is. I am trying to get a private key for a public key that I have generated, and using that public key, I am connecting to Snowflake. Okay. with open, because this I don't have this setup. I did set it up for the previous account. This new account doesn't have any of them, so I have to set up this environment. When we do this user management, right, our environment will be set and we can run this program as well. Okay, so open. This is all part of your trying to read the private key. Whenever you are trying to read the private key from Python, that cannot be easy. You have to have a particular format in which you have to use and read. And I have read this is where I have stored my private key, OpenSSL bin. So, and from there I'm reading the private key and then trying to. So this is pretty much straightforward, copy paste. That means you don't need to put lot of brain. How do I do it? No, you just when we talk about the service accounts, you will have much more clarity. Until then, think that whenever you're trying to have a connection, this connection, right, where I am using the private key. Connection is nothing but the account, the host name, and the username, and the pipe name, and the password. And here I am putting a list of files. So C, JSON, Snowflake training, Shaker training, Opal. Or if I want to push the employee.jsv, emp.csv. Or if I have multiple of them, right, I can have multiple of them here as well. This is an array I'm just generating. Okay. And I have a couple of things that I forgot to tell you. Okay. I want you guys to go through this um, weekend batch. Hold on 1 second. So these topics, if you're new to Python, I want you to be in the beginner level so that you can put something that you have worked on Python. I'll show you some couple of use cases where you can extract data from SQL Server and load it into um, Snowflake. Whenever we talk about this user management and the Python part of it, right? I'll explain you how that I have the code that I have already completely coded to extract data from SQL Server to Snowflake. So I got a POC project where I have to load about 30 SQL Server databases and then load them into Snowflake. And then they want to see how much time it takes for a full load. That I have done. I'll share the code to you as well. Okay, and then I'll explain you the code, how things get automated and all this stuff. That gives you some real-time scenario kind of thing. But before that, I wanted you guys to go through these videos. There are tons of stuff online. I want you to be a little bit handy with the Python so that you can have some content in your resume telling that extensively used or used Python frameworks for ad hoc data loading from your source to Snowflake. Couple of lines on Python so that people look at you. Okay, you know Python as well. But these are all the basic stuff. Variables, how do you declare variables, loops, if conditions, library imports. I did just pip install and all this stuff, right? If you want to connect to Snowflake, MySQL, Oracle, how do you do that? These some of the examples. Writing a function, how do you write a function? Because if you repetitively call some piece of code, then you can create a function and then you can call them in your Python code. Logging, how do you log the data? Logger. This is important. OS operations, create file, delete file, copy file, move file, append file, read from file, create create folders, delete folders. These are some of the things that you have to learn. Pretty much simple. If you spend about 2 days of 2 hours per day of your time, or at least 5 to 6 hours. If you're very serious, spend 2 days of time and you'll have some clarity. I'll give you, if you want, I'll give you a small exercise. You install MySQL, have some data in it, connect to MySQL, load it into Snowflake. That is good enough for you to visualize and talk. Somebody talks. Okay. You generate a CSV, put the CSV into a stage, and then load the data into a table. Whatever we did manually, we are automating using Python. That's nothing about it. I'll show you an exercise, simple exercise, and that should be good enough. Okay. And then installation of packages, that is what pip, and then pandas. These are the libraries that normally people use, pandas, and CSV generation and exception handling if you have exceptions. If you go through this stuff, right, 70% of them you can tell them this is what I have done. I know this much. Given a chance, I can explore more on Python. In my previous project, I didn't have the chance. There are Python developers altogether. We had a huge Python resources, and they were specifically doing it. But out of my curiosity, I want to do this. I have developed a small framework which I use for ad hoc querying, so that whenever there is a request from the users or anything to load some data, I use this. We developed a small ad hoc framework to load the data. Understood? This is important, guys. If you want to market yourself, you should have more bells and whistles. Have some Python in it. Even though if you're not from programming background, this doesn't take much of a task. I want you to seriously put in at least couple of days of time to talk to them, at least if they ask you something, so that you are not left, no, I don't know Python, I cannot do. No, that is not the case. I know a little bit of Python. I'm not a senior guy. I'm kind of a moderate guy, medium guy. This is what I have done in Python. I know about this one. I can log things. I can do connections and load data. So this kind of stuff, you should be able to talk. Okay.
Sure, sir.
Does it, okay. Does it make sense for you guys? Whatever I'm talking.
Yeah, yeah, make a lot of sense.
Yeah. So now, where are we now? Yeah. So I have added two files in the list, and then ingest manager is equal to simple ingest manager, and we connect to our source, the Snowflake connection. Print ingest manager, these are just my logging mechanisms, and then staged file list. So this is the parameter that this particular array is to be passed as a parameter to the ingest file. That means what are the files that you wanted to ingest to Snowflake? That is the parameter. For that, right? This is, you have to put it into a list. So I have a list of files here. I loop through them and then add it into the staged file list. Okay. So staged file list dot append staged file name none. That means I'm appending my files emp.csv, emp, this should be emp1.csv. Both of them I am putting into this particular list. And then the moment you say append and stage file is file name, right? This is, you are adding into a list and you're calling the list with this ingest files, and you're passing the entire list to be ingested into Snowflake. If you have 100 files, you can have 100 files ingested. You can 50 files ingested into Snowflake. Pretty fine. It works very good. And this is an HTTP request. REST API means it's like you send, you execute a URL, it will give back you a response telling that success or failure. That's what I'm trying to do this. If there is an error, I'm just trying to log the error and exit. If not, asset, give the response. This is the response code. Success equal to success. Whatever the response that I'm getting success, then I'm trying to do something. So there is another thing called history. You can get the history, how many files have been loaded. I just want to go through. I have ingested 2 files, right? I just want to go to the history and see if my files have been loaded or not. Okay, this is pretty much about. So you won't be writing this unless until there is a challenge. If you run into any issue, you can call me. If I'm not available, message me. Probably I can help you out. Okay. So now you
Sure,
understood
sir.
you can call a snowpipe through a REST API. REST API is very flexible because you don't need to have an ETL tool. If people ask you why do you use snowpipe, what is the advantages of snowpipe, then you don't need a ETL tool. If a source is somewhere, you have in Oracle, you can write or you can write a program somewhere else, read the Oracle data, generate the files and push it ingest through ingest manager. That automatically comes into a stage that gets loaded into a table. Do you need an ETL tool here? No, right? And wherever your source, if you are able to generate a CSV file, a JSON file, or whatever the file that you can generate, that happily gets loaded into the Snowflake. Guys, you are able to digest whatever I'm talking, right? The easiness
Yeah,
of
yeah.
having a Snowpipe. If you have a Snowpipe, you don't need to have the ETL tool. You don't need to configure ETL tools for migrating all this stuff. But it depends again, high volume data, millions of records, terabytes of data. This won't work. Snowpipe doesn't scale. These for continuous micro batches of data. Okay, that's what's happened. So whenever you are loading a file through Snowpipe automatically converts them into micro batches and loads them. It reads the file, converts into micro batches and loads them. People sometimes expect this particular micro batches keyword. Some stupid people, I don't know how cynical they are. Oh no, no, you did not clearly tell me. I have something in mind. So people who are talking, right, interviewing, they are gods to us because you have to satisfy them, please them, and make them they are happy with you. No matter whether they're stupid, adamant, and whatever it is. I used to work with a guy. He's now in US. So when he starts interview, and then with for me, I normally whenever I interview people, right, I look at the guys, how positive they are, how are their fundamentals, can they pick it up given a chance. These are the three things that I do. I and he should be a team player. He should not be arrogant, and he should be able to put in lot of time. These are the 5 things that. So the other guy, right? And when I talk to people within couple of minutes, I can gauge them because I have about 18 years of experience and I have worked on many technologies, starting from Oracle ERP, Java, big data, many friends in the big data, and then ETL tools and Snowflake, cloud, and I have worked on Visual Basic, .NET. You name any technology, I know something out of it. So I can easily figure out because I have developed products and all this stuff. So if you talk to people within 10 minutes, I'll get to know whether this guy is fit or not. This guy, right, who sits next to me is an architect, Hadoop architect. If we can easily guess that guy who is getting interviewed, he doesn't know anything, but he still keeps on asking questions for 1 hour. I told him many times, what the hell are you talking, man? That guy doesn't know anything. He's openly telling that I don't know this, I don't know this. Why you keep on extending this interview for 1 hour? So there are such kind of people, I don't know. So interviews should be always whenever you talk to interviewer, right? Make sure you're telling a story to him. You should not be scared. You should not be worried. You should not beat around the bush too much. And you cannot be straightforward. You have to be little tactical and then try to tell a story to him rather than being very serious with him. Try to have a conversation. And that is not that easy to get because when you are doing interviews, right, it takes some time. My first interview was a debacle, and they interviewed me like 2 hours, which I didn't know. I was very strong in the subjects, but my projects were all fake. And then I realized my gap. From next day onwards, I attended every day. I have to go and attend one interview. That was my target. I attended 13 interviews, and on the 14th interview, I cracked. So the fear of being talking and all this stuff, there are many parameters. It's all so. What I'm telling you, right, with the content that I'm delivering, the first interview will be a very mind opening for you. What you will identify what are your gaps, and each interview is always different. Okay. Anyway, I sidestepped. I don't want to go that route. So coming back, right? So this is what it is, and do we have any other? So this particular thing should be, I'm able to query that, right? And then there is a pipe usage history view. Let me go ahead and see what is this, query this view. Where is this? Yeah, this is the one, right? What happened to the other? So this is what it is. We have created an internal. It ran 2 times, and the name of the file is, we can look at the name of the file. 1 second. Pipe name. What are we querying? History only, right? Pipe history, it should give me all the. It gives you the number of credits used. We talked about, right, per core granularity kind of thing. Each core, how much is processed, and this file inserted 1 record, file inserted 2 records. It should have more details. Files entered. These are 2 files. This is 1 file, part of the snow pipe. So there is some more information that I was trying to see. 1 second. Okay. I want to go to this snowflake database. Information schema. No. Account usage schema. The one that I was talking about. And pipe usage history. I'll get it. So this account usage schema, right? It takes anywhere between 45 minutes to 3 hours to get the data into this account usage schema. Information schema is almost real time. So that is the reason we always use these functions, which gives you the real time data. See, I have the data here, but not in this view. Okay. Pretty much about this particular thing. And then what else? I've given each and every step very much similar to your external table that we have created. You describe this, you will, when you say auto ingest is equal to true, right? You will have describe the snow pipe like you describe your external stage. Describe pipe, my pipe. So you have this, see, whenever you create with auto ingest, you will have this notification channel. And you copy this notification channel in the SQS, that whatever we have done. That's it. And you refresh for the first time, automatically it picks it up. Okay. And then if you want to look at the status of your pipe, whether it's running or not, you can look like this. System dollar pipe status, name of the pipe. And you can resume a pipe, you can pass a pipe, and this is my pipe. What is this? See, it gives me an JSON. Execution starts running. Pending file count 0. Notification URL so and so. This is what it is. Last received message. This is what it is. Okay. And then we have another thing to pass the pipe. Alter my pipe. Pipe execution passed is equal to. This is the keyword. How do you pass your pipe? How that means how do you pass means you suspend it. How do you resume is equal to false. Pipe execution passed is equal to true means now it's passed. My pipe internal. Now both of them are passed. If I make it false, then they keep on running. Okay. So this is pretty much about the pipe. And there was one guy who was working with us. He learned from DVS only, and they had a challenge in their work environment. Whenever, so they had multiple folders underneath one bucket. We have an S3 bucket, and underneath the bucket they had 5 folders. And he wanted to refresh the data whenever the folder gets refreshed. Can that be possible? He has 5 folders, and each folders people get keep on pushing the data. You can create a SQS notification on a particular bucket, the bucket properties. If you want to have 5 different folders, and if you want to have five, so the moment you go and look at the properties of that particular bucket, right? So it will have the same for all of the folders. The notification, then you have to create five snow pipes. He doesn't want to create 5 different snow pipes. Let me explain you that scenario. S3 buckets, folder 1, like root slash my data load slash and the date of it 5/30/2021, and he had some emp.csv, and he had another folder, some business folder, find data, something like this. So there are 2 folders. Now he created a snow pipe, create or replace snow pipe, my pipe as this one, copy into emp at the rate of from, okay. And then there was another pipe, also my finance pipe. Okay, this is something. So there are 2 snow pipes. Whenever you go and set up this, If you look at the notification channel, ARN, when you create this, right? So this is like S3, I can't say S3 stage, S3 stage. This is also root is also S3 stage. Okay. This notification ARN is same as this one because the bucket is same. Whenever you have the same bucket, the notification ARN doesn't change because notification ARN depends upon the stage that you have created. And you created a stage pointing to something, and there are underneath multiple folders. You have created a stage called S3 stage which points to the root, for example. So when you go look at the notification channel, both of them will have the same notification channel because you're pointing the stage to the same bucket. But you have to, whenever there is a change in this particular data load, you have to execute the data, and whenever a change in fin data, you have to refresh the data. How do you do that? Two ways. You can employ a Python program, run your program, and then do that, or you employ the notification, you give the notification channel, and when you give the notification channel, it goes and refreshes this one as well as this one because both of them, it's underneath the your stage, right? Whenever you the notification comes, whenever the notification comes here, it will fire. Whenever the notification comes here also, it will fire. That means the copy command gets executed twice. If the and it's not no harm in it because there won't be any files, it doesn't load the data. If there are any files, it loads the data. And they want to have separate thing, then I suggested them to have a separate stage rather than putting in the same root. You have a root one and then create a pipe. You'll have two different things so that you'll have two different URNs, ARNs, and each of them will work independently. Are you able to digest whatever I spoke?
Sir, what I have seen is for entire folder, entire bucket as a SQS channel will be only one, right, sir?
Yes. Hmm.
How it will be differing even if I create two folders in one bucket?
No, no, I'm not. You have to create another bucket. If
Okay,
if
okay,
you think the
okay,
root bucket, you go and create another bucket for the other one, and then push the data into it. Don't use the same
okay.
bucket if you want to have.
How about the task, sir? In this role, can't we employ the task because
You can
we
apply.
can?
Yeah. Well, how do you do the task? Alter snow pipe refresh. That can be done if you know the frequency. That can be done. And then
Okay.
when you're talking in an interview, right? You can answer the smart way. We have used the task. We know when the file comes. That is the reason we have used the task. But you should be very strong in task. Whenever you are answering to the interviewer, the last line that you're going to speak is the feeding line for the interview. And if you take, so no, we did not use AWS SQS integration or all that. You will say we have used the task, and he will ask you how do you do have you done using task. Why did you go with the task? We normally go with the task because we don't want to have SQS setup and the syncage, and then there are credits on the AWS front as well as credits on Snowflake front. We just want to save some cost, so we employed this one. And if you want to save little more, right, don't use a task. You schedule a Python program. In the Python program, connect to Snowflake and execute the command alter snowpipe refresh.
Okay.
So that's much more cost saving because whenever you schedule a task, right, the task has to continuously run while your virtual warehouse will be charged, and it's a different pricing. We looked at the pricing part of it, right? So apart from it charges 0.06 cents for 1,000 files. It depends. So if you want to avoid all this stuff, you can have your Python program running and then try to do that. Okay, you can have task. You can tell them the task. Then he will ask you, what is the task? How do you? What is the frequency? What is the cron notation? How do you use them? What are the challenges that you have faced in a task? Then you have to come up with. We had a job orchestration done in tasks, but there is one program. After the completion of three tasks, we want to finish one task, but it's not possible in tasks. So we have created a procedure, put it in one task. After that, we have executed this. This is one of the challenge with that we faced. You can tell them like that. We talked about it, right? When you have a chain of
Yes.
jobs tasks,
Yes.
a task can have only one predecessor. That means it can be dependent on only one particular task, not on multiple tasks. If you want to have multiple tasks, take out the three SQL statements, put it in a procedure, and call the procedure in one single task, and after that write your whatever the task that you want.
Okay, sir. Got it.
Okay, that pretty much covers the snowpipe part of it, and then we have 5 more topics left. One is probably if you can have a couple of days in the weekdays, and next I am pretty sure that in 2 weeks we should be closing this program. Okay.
Sure, sir.
Okay, guys. Then okay. Thank you. Let's catch up on next Wednesday. That is a class timing. I'll ask Cindy to set up a class, and then I'll send you out all the slide decks with the class exercises and everything. Okay.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
No problem. Vishnu, can you hear me? If you're talking in the mute, and if you want to talk to me, right, I'm just pinging my number in the chat. You can call me, and if you have any questions, I can answer you. You can respond to me. Okay. Okay then. Right, guys. Thank you. Catch up on Wednesday.